Hello, welcome back. You might remember this cup I just made and posted the video for. I was going to go over exactly how I made that blessed and how we kerned the letters, how I picked the font, and all of that. So let's get into it. So here in the beginning, I was just going to show that I do go through a lot of different kinds of fonts. I have a list actually next to my computer, and I go through and type them out and kind of evaluate the word that I'm using or the name that I'm using and how the letters look, how they come across. And this probably takes me, it could take me 15, 20 minutes to do this. That's why I like to have kind of a list, because if you start going through all of the fonts, it can get really overwhelming really fast. And, I knew there's certain types of looks that I go for certain types of cups. If it's more whimsical, I want it to be, more flowy. If it's more fun and kind of a cool type of cup, then I might go for a different type of font. So, this is just a process and once you work with a lot of fonts, and like I said, I make a list of fonts so that when you do start kind of going through the fonts, you know which one does what and what style you like for certain things. And that just takes time and takes kind of practice and just going through all of your fonts and searching fonts and that kind of thing. So with this font, I wanted to show you, because some of the lines are really thin, I went up and I tried to bold, and some of the fonts, if they are not a Cricut font, will not bold correctly. So just to kind of make them thicker, well, they will leave little gaps in the font like this. So you have to be real careful when you're choosing a font, especially if it's something you've downloaded outside of Cricut. Things don't work exactly the way they should with an actual Cricut font. So here I decided on this font, and I really liked it because of it just had a lot of drama to it, and that's kind of what I was going for. I really wanted to show that that's how I would do a name. I would do the name the same way. I would want something that had a lot of loops and swooshes and things like that in the font. And here I was showing that some letters sometimes have a little bit longer tail than I would want. When I'm trying to kern the letter when I'm trying to put the next letter next to fit it into that letter, that tail can just kind of come way further out than I would want it to. And so all I do is take a little square, and I just control hit the square and the letter, and then I just go down and I hit slice. And what slice does is it takes that little piece, that little tail off, and makes that letter a little less, a little shorter. And so that way I can kind of fit that next letter right into there. So I am deleting those little pieces off of that E, and then off the L. That way I'm able to set that E right in there, right where it needs to be. And it looks much more natural that way. So I sliced that piece off of the E, and then I was able to move the S over. Now, one other little tip I wanted to say was I always use my arrow keys. That way the letters stay on the same line as they were before. So that natural kind of position for the letters stay in the right position, right? So I just used my little keyboard arrows and do that. So I continue on with slicing the pieces of the letters, and this will totally be whatever font you get. If you think, man, these are just really spaced out a lot, I can't really get that line in there, it's going too far up into the letter, all you got to do, slice that piece off and then move that letter right over, and you've got a perfect fit. So here I was zooming in to show you how I position the letters. So with that L and that E, I'm going to take that last little swoosh of the L where we slice that tail off, and I'm going to put it right in that position where that smaller line in the front of the E is, so that it looks like it has been scripted in that way. So everything has like a really natural flow. And if you do cursive yourself, I know it was kind of not taught in schools, and I think they're bringing it back, but hopefully you do know how to do cursive. So when you know it, you're flowing, your pen is flowing through, and that's kind of the same idea that we're trying to do here, is create a look of it actually being written out. And so this is something you might want to zoom in a little bit and bring those letters in, and that's another reason why we're slicing them, so that it has much more of a authentic feel. So once you're done, you sweep over all of your letters and you are going to weld them. Now, what happens here, like this little piece with this E, that means a little bit of that tail of the L that we sliced is still right up in that circle of the E. So we're going to need to just move that L out just ever so slightly, or move that E over a little bit, and then we weld it again and it'll be perfectly fine. So this, I was just going to show you how I did the offset. I just pressed duplicate, and then I changed each one to the color that I wanted to use. I wanted to use like a rose gold, so I just changed it to pink so I knew which one was which. And I did the other one in a minty green. And that's what I did. And all I did was just set it there just to kind of show how I'm going to set it on the cup, how I'm going to do the offset. This is not the traditional offset with it making it a little bit bigger, but I do like the outcome of this. It just adds a little bit of a subtle color underneath, and I really like it. And that's what it looked like in the end. I love the subtleness of this. And I love the grandeur of the letters just being so kind of overwhelming the cup. And those are just kind of style things that you're going to have to decide when you're picking out your cup, when you're looking at it, when you're looking at the design and you're looking at the word. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.